Good morning, everyone. Rich at Rivera Urban Homestead. Welcome back. It is Friday morning, a very relaxing Friday morning, as you can see. My oldest son is at the movies with his buddy. My wife is at work, and the baby is at daycare, and Daddy has the house to himself this Friday morning. So we're going to go to the back to the grow room and do an update on the pepper plants that we planted July 18th. And also we're going to harvest microgreens, the kale and cabbage that are about, I think, 10 days old now. And I'll walk you through that and just hang out for a little while. So let's do it.
Yes, I love when I have to burn vacation days and I get a couple of hours by myself in the house. It's kind of nice. You don't get it too often. But anyway, let me grab my coffee here. Let's do a update on the pepper plants first. They've been growing since July 18th under the lights. And they are starting to look really good. Let me bring you in a little bit so you can actually see this up close. Okay, so here are 5 pepper plants that we did July 18th. We have the Jimmy Nardello, looking really good, and as you can see, these 2 leaves down here, those are going to be your seed ones. These are your true leaves right here. So now we're getting into some actual growth on these peppers. They're all looking really good. I did do their first fertilizer yesterday, and we'll talk about that here in a minute, but I just wanted to show you a visual of them. How nice they're looking. Very well. And they're loving it. They're loving it. They like these lights. So let's get back to talking about the fertilizer. One thing I do want to say is explore your local area. I've been living here in Venice, Florida now for 12 years. I bought this house about 10 years ago, I think we bought it, and we started gardening. I started gardening actually. I built my first raised bed about 2 years ago. So this has only been going on for about 2 years. My gardening, my learning about it, trying to build my soil up with my homemade compost. Sometimes I buy worm castings. So anyway, what I was getting at is I knew there was a nursery by Walmart for years now. Never went in there. Always said I need to go in there and check it out. Well, yesterday, I was off yesterday as well. I had 2 vacation days I had to burn. So yesterday, me and my oldest son, I was like, let's go over there and check it out. Wow. This place is amazing. It has worm castings. It has all kinds of organic fertilizers and anything you need it has. I actually bought online, when was it, probably Tuesday, some BT I've been reading about for caterpillars. My squash plants outside are really getting hammered with caterpillars right now. So I got this organic fertilizer. It should actually be in today, so I'll do a video of it and we'll see how that goes. But then I go to this nursery up the road. They have the same products there. I could just buy it right there instead of buying it online. So, and prices are comparable. So I could have had it yesterday and have already treated, but live and learn. Anyway, one thing that I did get from there, because I was looking for an organic fertilizer, low strength, you know, just to feed the pepper plants. This is Dr. Earth Homegrown Organic. 100% natural handcrafted blend. You know, the 3 numbers, the MPP is 4, 6, and 2. So that's pretty good, not bad. I did use half strength. It said 4 tablespoons per gallon. So I did 1 gallon at 2 tablespoons and called it good. And it says premium concentrate, good for tomatoes, vegetables, and herb fertilizer. It also says 5% humic acid, aloe vera is in it, some yucca extract, blackstrap molasses, brown rice flour, whole wheat flour. So we're gonna try it out. We're gonna see. It also shows it was derived from fish bone meal, fish meal, soft rock phosphate, mined potassium, earthworm castings, seaweed extract. It sounds great, so we'll see how it works. I thought it said something about having the minerals or something. Can't really see it right now. But anyway, this is it. So I'm not saying this is the best stuff because I have never used it. This is the first time I'm using it on my peppers. I did it yesterday, so half strength. And what I did was, almost looks like tea. I mixed it up in a bigger, in a 1 gallon thing like this. That'll be sitting there. Then I pour some in a little water bottle. Put some holes in there, so now I can just flip it over and just lightly spray them and it's good to go. So I have that all set up. So now I got this fertilizer. I hope it works. I love that store. I can't wait to go back. I'm bringing my wife Sunday over there to see it. Anyway, so yeah, the peppers are doing good. We're going to keep them back up here. You want to keep them close to the light. So, get them set up here again. Make sure they're under there good. And the lights I use are just T8s with the high, I think it's 5,000, the rating, the brightness. I bought a box of them at Lowe's again for cheap, and there was like 20 of them or 15 in a box or something. So we got that going on. Shouldn't have did that, sorry. And then let's move over to the microgreen harvest of the kale and the cabbage. I'll bring you in close for that. We can check it out.
So as you can see from last time, these microgreens just formed a bush. Kale and cabbage microgreens. I was watering them every day pretty much once they got bigger like this. And like I said, they're going on about 10 days now, I think. So they're definitely ready to be harvested.
So what I'm going to do is, look at how bushy they are. I mean, just let me tell you something, how I water them. I'll lift this up because these have holes in them. You see the roots coming out of there? Coming out from under. I fill up this pan at the bottom, the bigger pan, just to where it's covering the bottom of this every day when they got this big. And then they just take the water up from underneath versus trying to spray them on top and all that. I didn't do that. And they're massive and they look good. So I think today will be the day we harvest them. So let's go get the equipment. Let's get to harvesting. You know, I don't really have much hair, so I don't go to a barber, but I do cut the microgreens hair. Anyway, it's basically just like you see. Grab a chunk, try and get as low to the dirt as you can, to harvest as much as you can. See some of this, I actually pulled a couple of roots, so I don't want those. And I put them in this netted little colander kind of thing my wife uses. It works really good for just spraying them off, because a lot of times they'll still have their seed heads on them, and so you gotta spray them off with the pressure hose in your sink or whatever. And this is a really good harvest. I mean, there is a lot in here. One of my wife works at a dental office, and the doctor just is always bugging her for me to bring him some microgreens. He loves putting them in his salads or whatnot. And this is just one 10 by 10 tray. I mean, a half a tray is what they call it. I tell you what, that's a lot. that tray is done. And now what I'll do with this, done. I will take that and I will dump it right into my compost pile, and then I'll use it for composting. And that's a lot for one tray. That's a good yield right there. And I have to do the same thing with this, so I'll do that and I'll come back to you. Okay, so for these like bigger microgreens, I'm gonna just use the colander instead of this net. I use this when I'm doing smaller microgreens like the lettuces and stuff, because it tends to fall through these holes a lot. But I'm gonna put this bowl right here, and I'm gonna rinse these off and get the whatever little seed heads. Here you go. You see? Some of them still have the seed heads attached. So instead of trying to pick them all off with your hand, that would be annoying. I'm gonna just rinse them off. So that's it. Just move around. Rinse them off really good. Wow, this is very dense stuff. Very dense. And try and get those seeds to go out the bottom there. See the heads? That's good. That's what we want. Get those off and there wasn't that many on this batch, so I think I'm almost pretty much done already with the rinse. Kind of lift it up. Beautiful. Alright, so microgreens are nice, cleaned off. I don't really see any more of those seeds. Some good weight to it. So now what we're going to do is just put them on some paper towel and let them kind of dry out a little bit. And we'll go from there. Alright, so here we go. That is one tray harvested. That is a lot of microgreens. So what I'll do is I'll just let them sit on this paper towel for a while, let them dry out. Not totally dry, you know, but I don't want them soaked when I put them in a Ziploc bag. And that's how I store them. I just put them in a Ziploc bag, leave some air in there, you know, and we pretty much eat them within the week that they're harvested. Alright, so I finished harvesting that other tray. Rinsed it out. It's sitting there now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start another batch. I already got my dirt inside there, my seed starter mix. This time I'm doing some Swiss chard ruby red and also some radish champion. So let's knock this out real quick. Again, you take your seeds. These are really cool looking seeds. Check these out. Aren't those nuts? And those are the ruby red Swiss chard. So, get them blanketed in here. You want to do them kind of thick, you know. You want to have a nice blanket when you're done. Like the stuff we just harvested, as you saw, it was very full. And we got a lot of yield. I got a lot of microgreens to eat now. And I'm okay with that. You almost don't want to show any bit of soil when you're doing these bigger ones, they say. So we're going to just put them in and see what happens. I think that should be about it. But when I think that's it, I like to put a little bit more. Okay, and now to the radish champion.
These just little circular millet almost looking seeds. And we're going to just get them going in there. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, put some water underneath in the tray. Because again, these have holes in them. In the bottom, these half trays have holes in the bottom. And then they're going to be sitting in the bigger tray without the holes. So that bigger tray without the holes, that's where the water goes. Pop that right back in there. But then initially I'll also spray it down. So let's do this real quick. Let me go get some water and I'll just do a quick watering demo. Okay, yeah, so all I do is just lift one up. I normally just lift them up like that, but being as I just put seeds in there, let me just take it out evenly so they don't roll all over the place. Just fill up all the channels. Whoop. I'm filling it kind of full this time because this is the initial watering, so this soil, the seed starter soil, is still, see it almost like floating? And that'll just start absorbing into from underneath. But also initially, what I do is spray the seeds as well. I think I need a couple more radish. In here. I don't want to underdo it. Alright, now I just give it a nice watering. All of my water I have sitting out in containers at least 24 hours before I use it to get the chlorine out of the city water, you know. It's treated. So I don't really like having all the chlorine in there. So I let all of my water sits out for 24 hours at least. And then that chlorine should be gone. And there we go. So now we got a good mist. Okay. Grab my other black tray. Boom. Actually, before I do that, I like to spray inside of here too. So I'll mist down the lid. There we go. And now these can just sit for about 3 days or so. 4 days. Maybe 5. I'll check them. And we'll do an update. We'll show you again. Okay, well, I gotta say, this is the first time that I've actually just did a video with no one here, no distractions. It was kind of fun. I'm new at this video thing, so I'm trying to be a little more personable, maybe. It's just a little hard looking into a little weird camera. I'm going to be 40 years old in October, and I've never videotaped myself my whole life, so, you know, I'm learning. Hopefully you guys stick with me and learn with me. They'll get better. I'm starting to get more interested in doing it, and I really want to start doing some more how-to educational stuff on here. I know I'm just kind of, I ramble along, do whatever. But I want to say it was fun. I had a good time. I think my camera needs to go up a little more. My head might be chopped off. I don't know. Live and learn, right? But a couple of last things. Also at that nursery that I found right up the road. Oh yeah. They got worm castings right there. Little bags. So I mix this with my potting soil and my vermiculite, and that's how I make my indoor growing soil. But I'll also buy a bigger bag of this and just incorporate some into the garden this summer, or I'm sorry, this fall when I do my fall garden, which the fall garden, I will start planting that at the end of August, beginning of September. Actually, I'm sorry, more
middle of September or something like that, end of September. So I'm going to walk you through my planning of it. I already have that all done. I already have all the seeds I got in. I have so many seeds right now from just the last couple of years. It's awesome. So I'll be showing you everything I'm doing. I'm going to do one box. It's going to be the square foot garden method, one of my raised beds. I'm going to just load that up with all different things and see how it rolls. And my other boxes and stuff, I have tons of stuff planned. Beans, lettuces, all kinds of cool season, which in Florida here, I can grow all year round. So as my summer stuff starts to dwindle, I take a month's space, I get everything squared away, put more compost in the beds, and boom, I'll be hitting it in September for the fall garden. So besides that, I think that's about it. Microgreens will start sprouting tomorrow, probably the next day. Pepper plants, they're all looking good, doing great. I'll do a video on my squash because that's a different story, them caterpillars and crap. Yet last night what I did is Dawn and water solution in my sprayer, and I just sprayed the heck out of those plants with Dawn and water. So that might kill some of the softer bodied bugs. I don't know if it's going to really get the caterpillars, but that's why I got that other stuff coming in today, that BT. Still not exactly sure how that works. From what I hear is they eat part of the leaf and it messes with their digestive system and they can't eat no more. So we'll see. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, and I'll have another video up shortly. Like and subscribe and comment if you have any questions or if you have some advice for me on what I'm doing wrong or what, let me know. This is Rich. I'll talk to you guys later.